Another industry impacted by coronavirus is the toy sector. It is the talk of the New York Toy Fair this week at the Jacob Javits Center. The toy sector sources an estimated 80% of its products from China, and toy makers are already warning that the coronavirus will disrupt supply chains. Joining us now with his insights is James Zahn, senior editor of the Toy Insider. James, good to have you here.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Wow, what a week for the New York Toy Fair to be happening, too, with the coronavirus as a backdrop. How long do you think before we start to see a gap in store shelves when it comes to toys?
We're looking at about June right now, but how people are mitigating it is an interesting thing because all of the companies are in a different spot. We've already had some companies that brought stuff in early. They expedited it with the threat of tariffs that didn't end up happening in December. So some product got here. We're in a traditional lull right now, too, as far as manufacturing and shipping. So if there was a, quote, good time for this to happen, it's now. Certainly, it's never good. But what we might start seeing is summer products might be affected. And there's also talk of products that were supposed to hit for fall of 2020 might now become spring 2021 products.
If you can't make toys in China, which is a key market for the toy industry, where do you go? Where is the likes of Hasbro, Mattel? Where are these companies making these products?
Vietnam is a big one. Thailand is another one. A lot of the Southeast Asian companies or countries. We've got manufacturing in India. I've even heard, though, of one company that is starting to bring more stuff back to the U.S. that I don't think they've announced yet, but it's directly related to this.
Can you tell us who it is?
I can't yet.
All right.
But you will hear within a few days, I'm sure.
Are there certain toy makers that are less exposed to China, or are they all sort of equally in the same boat here?
No, there's ones that are certainly less. Funko would be a prime example because a lot of their stuff is coming from Vietnam. Hasbro has already shifted some of their production out, like Transformers, for example, are made in Vietnam. Certain other companies, Mattel, for example, like their Hot Wheels, have been made in Thailand for years. So they're plugged in on certain pieces. The smaller companies, though, are more dependent on China right now. So it's going to be interesting because we're going to see a scatter shot where it's not all, one size fits all as far as the impact of this. But we're looking at a like 6, 9 month, 12-month impact, but it's starting the ripple effect now.
Well, I'm just listening to you. I'm thinking, does this put a lot of smaller players out of business? The coronavirus could hurt some small companies.
It could, but what we're also seeing, luckily right now, is a lot of mergers and acquisitions. The smaller companies are teaming up. They're rolling into one another, and that's a great thing because they work better together. Some examples right now, we've got Jazzwares and Wicked Cool Toys just partnered up. They're a better organization, teamed up. Basic Fun has rolled a ton of smaller companies in. Play Monster just bought Cahoots. So as they get together, they combine those teams. It's a stronger organization, and that's what we're going to start seeing. I don't think we'll see people put out of business, but we're going to see more collaboration, more companies working together for the greater good.
Of course, the optics on this would look really bad, but do you think some toy makers, because the supply-demand is so now out of whack, that they would start raising prices on consumers?
I don't believe that they will in this, actually. I think that that's kind of like a last priority for them, especially because we're coming out of an 18-month period where the toy industry has faced several battles. They lost Toys R Us. Then last year we ran into some challenges with the amount of retail space shrinking. Now we're hitting coronavirus, but they're always resilient. And the toy industry is a very positive industry. I mean, we're talking about toys. We're making things that are fun, and these companies, it's led by positivity. So that is a great thing. So I think the last thing they want to do is anything that's going to hurt families.
Let's leave it on a positive note. Last, the coolest toy you saw at the Toy Fair?
Coolest toy right now? I'll give you a couple, actually. I love legacy stuff. Playmobil is back with Scooby-Doo and Back to the Future. Tonka is back this year.
With Funko, right?
No, Tonka is back with Basic Fun.
Okay.
And then there's some other cool stuff. Ravel Tails, Snap Ships. There's some great product at Toy Fair. And I think families are going to have a lot to look forward to as we move forward.
Good to leave on a positive note. James Zahn.
100%.
Really great insight.
Absolutely. Thank you.